Good morning, students. Students, today we will revise the chapter number first and chapter number 2 of your supplementary book for your periodic test first. Students, firstly we will start chapter number first, A Tale of Two Birds. So students, I am going to tell you the brief summary of this chapter. Okay? Students, there was a mother bird who lived in a tall and shady tree in the forest with her two baby birds. The mother bird always took care of her two baby birds. One day there was a big storm in the forest. The strong wind blew down many trees. The tree in which there was the nest of the birds, it also came down. A strong and heavy branch hit the mother bird and she was killed, and she died because of the hit of that heavy branch. The two baby birds were lucky. The strong wind blew both of them in the different directions of the forest. One of them came near a cave where a gang of robbers lived. The second bird came near a rishi's ashram that was a little distance away. Okay? Students, the days passed and the baby birds became big birds. One day, the king of the country came in the forest for hunting. He saw a deer and he ran behind the deer to hunt it. The king ran deep into the forest and at last he lost his way. Now the king was quite tired of running here and there. So he thought to take rest. That's why he saw a tree and the tree was near the cave. The king sat under the shade of the tree for taking rest. When he sat there, he heard a strange voice. He heard, "Quick, hurry up, someone's under the tree. Just take his jewels and his horse, otherwise he will slip away." When the king looked up, then he found that there was a big and brown bird. The king also heard the whispering sound that was coming from the cave. So the king immediately got on his horse and he rode as fast as he could. Then, after some time, the king came to an open space and there was an ashram. The king thought to take rest there because he was quite tired. So he tied his horse with a tree and he sat under that tree. When he sat under the tree, once again he heard a strange sound. The king heard, "Welcome, sir. Welcome to the ashram. Please go inside and take rest. There's some cold water in the pot. You may drink. The rishi will be back soon." When the king looked up, there he also found that there was a big and brown bird. The king was quite amazed because both the birds were same. The king was puzzled to see the bird because it was also big and brown like the first bird. Then the second bird told the king that the first bird was the brother of the king. He was living with the company of the robbers. He was living near the cave of robbers. That's why he was always talking. That's why he always talked like the robbers. Okay. Then at that time the rishi came. When he saw that someone was there, then he welcomed the king. He told the king to come inside and to take rest. He said that the king was quite tired, so he should take rest, and after that both of them would take food. The king told the stories of the two birds to the rishi, and he also told the different types of behaviors of these two birds. The rishi said that the world is full of surprises. So, and he added that one is known by the company one keeps. The rishi explained that the first bird behaved rudely because he was living with the company of the robbers. The rishi said that he had always copied the talking of the robbers. He had always learned, he had always heard the talking of the robbers, how the robbers planned to rob the people. That's why she behaved. That's why the second bird he behaved. The first bird he behaved so. And the rishi said that the second bird was living near the ashram. That's why he had always copied the manner and behavior of the ashram. So it was nothing, it was the result of the company. So students, this chapter teaches us, this story teaches us that we should be in the company of good people. We will be recognized by the company we keep. Okay. So this is the summary, students. Now I have written some questions. Just see the questions for revision. I have told you that you have to prepare the questions from your exercise as well as from your chapters also. So I have written the questions from the chapters for revision. Just see here. Where did the mother bird live? Where did the mother bird live with her two newborn babies? How did the mother bird die? Why was the first bird talking like robbers? And what was the rishi's explanation? So students, where did the mother bird live? The mother bird lived with her two newborn babies in the forest in a tall tree. How did the mother bird die? A strong and heavy branch hit the mother bird and she died. Why was the first bird talking like robbers? Because he had always heard the talking of the robbers. It was the effect of the company of the robbers. What was the rishi's explanation? The rishi explained that one is known by the company one keeps. Okay, students? So students, thus your chapter first is over. Clear? Students, now see the second chapter. The friendly mongoose. I am going to tell the brief summary of this chapter also. There was a farmer who lived in a village with his wife and his small son. One day, the farmer said to his wife that when their son grew up, then he would need a companion, a friend. So, they should keep a pet. The farmer's wife liked the idea. So, one evening, the farmer brought a tiny mongoose. The farmer's wife saw the tiny mongoose and she said that he would be the companion of their son when he grew up. Okay, so the tiny mongoose and the farmer's son, both of them grew together, and in 5 or 6 months the mongoose had grown its full size, had grown to its full size, and the son of the farmer was still a baby who was lying in a cradle. Okay, students, one day the farmer's wife decided to go to market. So she fed the child and she rocked the child in the cradle for sleeping. She said to her husband, she told her husband that she was going to the market and he must not leave the child alone with mongoose. The farmer said that the mongoose was a friendly animal and both of them, means the mongoose and their son, were good friends. Okay, so the farmer's wife left the house and the farmer was alone at his home. So he did not find any work in the home. That's why he thought to take a look at his fields. That's why he also left the house and he went towards his fields, and in the way he met with some friends and he did not return for some time. The farmer's wife finished his shopping and she returned back to her home. When she came back, then she found that the mongoose was sitting outside of the house. She also saw that the face and the paws of the mongoose were covered with blood. When she saw the blood on the face and paws of the mongoose, she screamed and she thought that the mongoose had killed her son. So she was blind with rage, and with her full strength she threw the basket on the mongoose that was full of groceries, and hastily she ran into the house. When she ran into the house, she found that her son was sleeping, and near the cradle of her son there was a snake who was lying dead. So immediately she understood what had happened, why the face and the paws were covered with why the face and the paws of the mongoose were covered with blood. She got to know when she saw that there was a black snake who was lying dead near the cradle of her son. So immediately she ran outside of the house and she said that the mongoose had saved the life of her son, and what had she done? She started weeping. She was touching the mongoose, but the mongoose was lying dead, who was unaware of her sobbing, who was unaware of her crying. Okay, so she understood that she did not think when she saw the blood on the face and paws of the mongoose. She knew that the mongoose had killed her son, but the mongoose had saved her son's life and he had killed the snake. So she started repenting, but she had nothing. She could not revive the mongoose. She was only feeling sorry for her hastily action. Okay, so students, this story teaches us that whatever we are going to do, we must think before starting the work. Whatever we want to do, first of all, we think over it, and after that, we should do the work. If we do the work without thinking, then we will only repent. Okay? So I have written some questions for revision. Just see here. Why did the farmer bring a tiny mongoose? What did the farmer's wife tell the farmer when she was going to the market? And why did the farmer's wife repent? So you will find the answers of these questions. Okay, your supplementary readers chapters revision is over. In next session we will revise the English grammar. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.